Would like to have you all picture Markley in heaven in a beautiful garden and dancing and walking with God's angels. God bless you, Markley. We love you.
Thank you so much for coming. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I'm so honored to be here with you all and with all of her amazing friends. Really, you really are judged in life by the friends you keep. And Markley's friends are some of the most caring and incredible people in my life that I hope that they rub off on me and I can be like them more. And I did have something prepared, but the words I think are not good enough. She had so many wonderful qualities. She loved to crack jokes, and she could be, in Dave's words, spicy. And I love that word. I didn't have that word when I came, but thank you, David, for that word, because it really captured.
That was B's word.
Yeah. So that really captured Markley. Man, she loved to dress up and celebrate life and grab onto every moment. And you couldn't separate her from her artwork. You couldn't separate Van Gogh from her. She was her artwork. It was her life. And Christine, thank you so much for all the years of dedication and loyal friendship that you brought to her and to all of us, and just all the text messages throughout all the years, and just dedication. And I can't tell you how grateful I am to know you and to know her, and how much she changed my life and made me want to be a better person, and just realize that life is fantastic with every little bit, and artwork makes it fantastic, and jokes make it fantastic, and just all of the wonderful joy she had in her life. And we just want to celebrate her on this beautiful day in Santa Barbara, here close to her home where she lived for so long and had so many wonderful experiences with Dee and Victoria and Lisa and everyone that I don't know that is now here, and Jeff, and I'm just listening to Jeannie, and just everyone that really she had an impact on and impacted her and supported her to just live the best wonderful life she could. And I wish I could have gone on so many of those trips that she went on. She told us stories about those trips, and I wish that I could have been there with her. And we did do one trip I remember together. We went on a Disney cruise for her dad's 80th birthday. And she was just so fun, and it was always a pleasure to be with her. And like Mom said, she never complained. And I just hope we can all be a little bit like that. And I'm just so honored to meet you guys and have you a part of my life now. And I hope that these connections can continue on and as long as forever. So thank you so much, and I'm so proud to be here and to be known as her brother, and just to remember her and the beautiful joy she brought to life, and make us realize how much wonderful, beautiful things there are in life to just be aware of every single second of every single day. So thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you.
I am so impressed with all of the people here today and the effect that you had on Markley's life. It just is amazing, and hearing stories about every one of you. And God bless you all for everything that you bring and brought to Markley. It just made her life so much fuller. And if you look around at the tables, all these pictures, and on the walls, this incredible full life. May we all be so blessed to enjoy what God has provided for us to make the most of. And Markley did, and this is mainly because of everybody here. So I did want to tell you a story that Mark was talking about Markley Ann's sense of humor. And I remember the first time my husband and I really kind of met Markley. And My husband is this big burly guy, kind of ex-Harley that has a heart of gold. And we decided to take Markley to Alvera Street to enjoy the celebrations and whatnot. Well, my husband got so excited because I had made him give up his motorcycles a while before. So he gets behind Markley in her wheelchair and he starts going, rum, rum. Markley starts cracking up. My husband gets a little too excited and accelerated her in this wheelchair. If you guys remember Alvera Street, it's got cracks in the street and whatnot. So there goes Markley, face first, in the wheelchair. And I'm like, I can tell she's not hurt. Markley, okay? Yeah. And she said, Ricky, don't you think you just went a little too fast for a wheelchair? Okay, so that was our introduction really to Markley. And we knew it was going to be just fine. And just what a spirit. And the other thing I just really remember, we were spending the night at my mom and dad's, and Markley was there, and she was a little bit more mobile, and you know, I felt that okay, I can do this. I can, you know, help take care of her, and so I'm getting her out of bed, and she's smiling and laughing, and I said, Markley, don't start laughing. I'm doing the best I can. I really am. And all of a sudden, of course, I can't do it. And I fall, and she falls on top of me. And she said, well, at least I fell on top. I started laughing. Okay, so that was our introduction to Markley. And, but anyway, I just want to kind of close and say, as her family, we are so grateful for everybody here and what you have done. Markley was so lucky, and I know she's looking down and smiling and just enjoying this celebration of life. So God bless every one of you. Thank you.
I love my aunt so much. And she was just, you can look in the pictures, that smile, you know? Like, not much really took to make her happy and appreciate what life really is about. It's not about the things we possess, the money in the bank account, the nice clothes on our backs, the really overly expensive foods or cars that we purchase to think that, you know, we have a good life. It was just seeing each and every one of you come through that door. Sorry. And just had the biggest, most genuine love in her heart for everybody. And I wish I could, oh, thank you. Dear God. Anyway, it's the biggest love in the heart for everybody who walked through that door, and the biggest smile. And my last memory with her was I was rolling her down the street, as I do, when I came up to visit, and we'd speak about things, you know, deep things about life. And, you know, it was beautiful. And I'll keep those last words to myself for my memory. But the one thing that she always did every Christmas was read. 'Twas the night before Christmas. And when I wasn't with her, she'd let me call her. And she memorized it because she knew it was important to me and to the family. I don't think I'll be able to get through it, but Just insert night before Christmas here. We love you, Auntie Markley. I love you. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lori, and I want to share with you about some history of Markley and Devereaux. So our current director, Amy, she would remember 30, 40 years ago when you were on campus and you graduated, you went to the group homes, or maybe you went to the apartment program. So Markley had a home, and her and her family were good to Devereaux and gracious enough to rent rooms in her home to our other clients. So Markley had some of the clients here, some of the clients who have gone on, like Chip Hall in 24, David Peterson in 25, and she would rent rooms to them. And in those days, we had our own vans and our own rec fund, and we would go out like to meet at dinners. And she had Victoria, I'm not sure. Victoria was like such an amazing nurse, and would help her in the group homes and help her on New Directions trips and take her to, to her family, and so Markley just had great, Devereaux support, nurse support, family support, step family support. It was just like amazing. And the only analogy I can think of is if you've ever seen the movie Heidi, it's like, it's something like that. And all the support, let's say, was like the Shirley Temple, and then Markley would be like the I forgot the other girl's name, but so all these people in Markley's life, and her art teacher, and when Markley would sell things at the Family Day yearly event at Devereaux, we used to have, so she had this huge support system. So I went there after about 10 years on campus. I was Markley's group home manager back in the day when we had that. I was also her support staff and her medical case manager. Well, that was like 25, 30 years ago, so that ship sailed. But I got to come back to what is now called the Supportive Living Program and work with Markley a little bit in these last couple years. And this week, I was reading The Independent just the other day, and we had a staff that worked with us who had retired and moved away to Oregon, and her family posted an obituary, and she had passed the same week as Markley. So I had to share that with some of our clients and tell them, when someone gets to heaven, there's a welcoming committee. So when Markley got there, Chip was there, who used to live with her, David was there, Melody, who had been, one of our staff, was there also. So I'm sure Markley would want me to tell you guys, she's there and she's dancing. And they're having another party, because Markley was always really gracious to open up her house. So I brought like 2 pictures. We would have Halloween parties there, birthday parties, retirement parties, or we would have picnics at the beach, as a group. And so they're having a blast. And Markley would want to say, make sure you all make it, and we'll be there for your welcoming committee. God bless you. Thank you. Oh, I can't forget Dee, okay? So Dee just made it so great for Markley on these trips all the time, and giving Markley a job. So Markley didn't go to our day program. She came to work and made money with Dee, and and Dee would invite her to all these things these last couple years, and come and clean up her house. I mean, it was just great. So Dee has always been great, and New Directions, and Dee came from Devereaux too.
Yeah. In case I haven't met you, I'm Dee Duncan, and is there another family member, anybody that would like to say a few more words that's family? Well, certainly Victoria Rice, come on up. Yeah, you're gonna have to tell them who, some people
Okay.
don't know who you are, darling.
So, my name is Victoria. At that time, my name was Rice. I was born a Rice, and if you can believe it, I married a bean. So I became Victoria Rice Bean. And let's go backwards, 32 years ago. And I was a nursing student, and I was doing home health with an agency. I had been getting, I just took whatever work came along, but I had been getting repeated calls to take care of a particular client who sounded like a real handful. And and I repeatedly turned it down. It just sounded like a very complicated and stressful day. But for some reason, one day I said yes, and that was Markley. She had been through, I don't remember the exact number, but it was in the dozens of different helpers within the period of just several months before I came. She was very frustrated, understandably, and the day was touch and go, but things turned around when we'd finished the basic care, and then she said, she's in her chair, she's pushing herself away from me. She said, "I'm going to my room to read. You can stay there. And don't follow me around like the little engine that could." And then she just disappeared into her room, and I thought to myself, I like that woman. I like her. We've been tossing around some words today: spicy, spunky, sassy, spirited. She was all of those things and more. And she became a sister. We were born the same year, only a month apart. And she became a friend and like a family member to me. And very graciously, her family accepted me as one of their own, and I was able to visit their homes, spend holidays with them, take vacations with them, and always felt that I was treated with the utmost grace and appreciation and kindness, and it really means the world to me. So I really want to thank the Mogan family and extend my sympathies to all of you on the loss of Markley. I also want to thank Dee Duncan and the New Directions crew. Because of them, Markley's life was incredibly enriched, and so was mine. We took amazing trips together. At one point after Markley and I got settled in, I asked her, if you could do anything you wanted to do with your life, what would it be? And she thought about it deeply, and she said, I love animals. I'd love to ride horses. I'd love to have a pet. I'd love to do sports. And I'd love to take really crazy adventures. And as you can see, Markley rode horses. She got involved in sports. She was a swimmer. Thanks to our friend Dave here in the wheelchair, we have a beautiful story of Markley. He offered at his wheelchair business on State Street free use of tandem bicycles, which were adapted to people with differently abled bodies. So Markley and I cruised up and down the boardwalk of Santa Barbara on the tandem bicycle. She loved it. She skied. I have witnessed Markley tearing down a ski slope. She whitewater rafted. Talk about adventures. I mean, we went all over the world. I was personally able to go to Fiji, to Scandinavia, to France, to Portugal, to Greece with her. And she endured tremendous inconvenience and discomfort to make these long trips. But as Mark has said, without ever complaining, just forbearance, patience, tolerance, and that incredible sense of humor where she could always find something to laugh about. Even when we were faced with the many obstacles in a non-ADA Europe or Fiji or someplace, a big set of stairs to get into a museum, she would look at me and say, "You know what to do." At which point, I would take the wheelchair and kind of vainly try to get it up the step while loudly going, "Ah,
uh, uh, which caused every male head in a 50-foot radius to instantly swivel on its axis. And within 60 seconds, Markley was being carried like the Queen of Sheba up whatever steps to whatever museum, onto whatever ferry, across whatever bridge, or through any obstacle. And she loved it and laughed about it. She could find a way to laugh at anything. And I want to fast forward now 32 years to where we are today, and I am a grandmother of a darling 4-year-old who suffered severe brain injury during his birth and has cerebral palsy and is on the autism spectrum. He just learned to walk a year ago. He is nonverbal, he's partly deaf. And his parents are understandably devastated by his condition. I, on the other hand, see many great reasons to be hopeful. And in one word, I would say the biggest reason is Markley. Because of my time with Markley, I don't look at my grandchild and see a broken person. I see a beautiful, perfect person. And I see a spunky, spicy spirit who is just, he doesn't know he has any disabilities, and I'm certainly not going to be the one to tell him. I realize that disability, it's really, it's a placeholder. That ability actually has nothing to do with it. Markley, if you looked at her body, you'd think, well, what is she able to do? That's missing the point entirely. It's what Markley was willing to do. Markley was willing to do anything, really. She didn't let limited use of her hands make her say, oh, I could never be an artist. She didn't let limited use of her legs say, oh, I can't get in a hot air balloon or go horseback riding or ride a bicycle. The issue here is not ability, it's willingness. And Markley was not diswilling. Markley was totally game and willing to do anything and everything possible. So I think disability, there are people with perfectly able bodies who are diswilling. They have all the tools that they need. They have a healthy body, but they're not willing to put themselves out there and try it. So this is why Markley is my hero. She's my sister, she's my friend, and I am so grateful to have known her and loved her. Thank you. Thank you, Victoria. Oh my gosh. Yes, of course. Come right on up. All right. Here, introduce yourself and how you know Markley. And yeah.
Hi everyone. So I'm Christine, Markley's art teacher, and wrote a few notes here. So I had the extraordinary privilege of doing art classes with Markley for 16 years. And thankfully for me and for Markley, she had such a supportive family who really encouraged her with her art. So thank you for that. And when we worked together, we were kind of like two peas in a pod, because Markley was right-handed and I was left-handed. So I helped her hold the brush with holding her hand, holding the brush. And we worked together. And one thing that you may not know about Markley is while she had lost the use of her hands and arms, she had a tremendous strength in that arm. And so when we worked together, that brush just took off, and that mighty strength that she had created all these beautiful paintings here. So please spend some time later taking a look, because they are a direct reflection of the color and the joy, which was really the essence of Markley. She was a great student, and she was always very thirsty to learn. And it was very inspiring for me to see. She taught me a whole lot about perseverance in life. So when COVID hit, very challenging for all of us, especially challenging for Markley. I could, all I wanted to do was get in the car and go over there, but we were on lockdown. So we started to do history of art together via Zoom. And she just loved learning about all the great masters of the past and the present. She had her favorites, Degas, Monet, Matisse, Picasso, and Van Gogh. And she found great strength in the fact that artists like Matisse spent the last third of their life in a wheelchair and doing their work also sometimes from bed. And he did his best body of work for that last third of his life, doing the cutouts paintings. And so Markley got a lot of strength from that, and just loved that. And Van Gogh with all of his challenges. And so I think because she felt like, and all the people with disabilities, that she saw their incredible creations online, and I think she felt she was part of this wonderful team, extraordinary team of talent. And during our classes, of course, she told me all about her travels to with New Directions, and all of the funny, hilarious stories of her childhood and her time with everybody, all her friends and family today. So my goal was always to bring joy to the class, but very often Markley would beat me to it. When we would finish a painting, like this one here, the original or a larger print of this is over there on the original print, I don't know if it's a print or the original painting, but it's over there on one of the displays. And so when we finished the original, I asked her, so what title do you want to give this one, Markley? And I said, Abstract in Pink. And she said, no, I want to call this one Floating in Pink Lemonade. So everything that came out of Markley, all the messages for the greeting cards, they were absolutely, total gems. So lastly, I'd just like to say I loved all the laughs and the joy of working with her. And I will miss her and those wonderful experiences a great deal, but feel ever so grateful to have known her and to have the chance to have spent all that time with her. She was a unique gem and will remain in my heart always. Thank you.
Okay, I'd like to open this up for anyone who would like to come up and speak. Yeah, come on up. Say a few words, and no falling allowed. I laughingly say that because that's one of the orders that I give on New Directions tours all over the world. No falling allowed. So here we go. Introduce your name.
I'm Jeff McDonald. I'm a roommate of Markley's. I just want to say that Markley's in my heart too. I've known her for a long time, and every time that I talk to her, and we used to socialize a lot. I said, Markley, you know what? You're the best person I ever met my whole life because you are, you're just incredible. And everyone loves you. And I want you to know that I love you too. And the story I want to tell is, it's kind of funny actually, because she had a roommate before. And so Julie and I went up to do the interview. And so funny is that, we went through the papers and everything else in between. And, I said, Markley, how did I do? And she said, you're unlike Flynn. And the other roommate said, well, I'm still thinking about it. Yeah, that's it, and then, it happened. And I remember it was Halloween and everyone dressed up in costumes and everything else. And of course, my brother-in-law was pretty silly. He came out in a box. So, yeah, it was very special. And Markley's going to always be in my life. God bless you, Markley. We all love you.
Would anyone else like to, Ellen, come on up?
I've known Markley for a long time, and I have to agree with a lot of what Victoria said. She definitely was a trooper. And I remember one of the trips I was on with Markley and Dee, when we went to England, and there was a cow outside her window between its cud. That's how she ended up with the nickname Moon. It was hysterical. And she was a wonderful artist. I mainly think she was a trooper, and she had an amazing personality and very upbeat, and I just really felt lucky to have her for a best friend. I'll never forget her. And Dee, I agree with what you said too.
And can you tell us a little bit about your family's history or your...
Oh yeah, and I also remember my mother and her dad used to date before my parents got married. Is that
I knew Markley for a long time, and we were close as anything.
I remember Markley. I lived with her at Casa Renee for a long time, but I moved, off before she did. And a funny story was we were in Casa Renee and we had an earthquake. She thought it was a Virginia Green running up and down. I said, no, Markley, it was an earthquake. And now she's with her mom and dad, and she's an angel up in heaven. And Markley, you may be gone, but you're not forgotten.
I think all the office assistants should probably come up. And Patty, Sherry, and Ellen, and Markley, I've worked with them since 2006 when I first started at the New Directions office. And it's just been a sisterhood almost with these gals. They are funny, we are family, and we're really gonna miss her a lot. And she was feisty, determined, all the things, that I would want to be, She really helped me get through some stuff. Yeah.
All God's children.
Yes, we are all God's children. But I just want to say we're going to miss her a lot. We love her. Ellen and Sherry and Patty, I'm so sorry because you guys spent many, many years together in this office. And we love you, Markley.
Love you, Markley.
Hello, you guys. I've also known Markley for a long time, and we were good friends together.
Isn't that pretty? I know. Laura, do you want to see?
Yes. All right, Dee's giving me the go-ahead, so she's asked me to formally with you all dedicate this tree, Oklahoma redbud, which has beautiful red flowers and heart-shaped leaves, to her memory, and it's been planted with her ashes, and So we dedicate this tree planting, and this, I'm going to spread some soil, and her ashes are there to help it grow. And this is to her memory. So I'm going to go ahead and spread a little bit of plant this here. Here's to Markley. That's right. Here's to Markley.
God bless you.
I'm going to put it right here.
God Beautiful. God bless you.
Her ashes. She worked here for 30 years.
I-